What's up, peeps? What's going on with you? How you doing? Woke up early this morning, and I know I didn't really get the chance to get on here over the weekend and do much blabbing, so I figure I'll hop on here this morning and see what y'all are up to. If you're up to anything, it's 5:05 a.m. here in Vegas. So those of you on the East Coast might be up and getting ready this morning. What y'all up to, man? Wait for some of y'all to get up in here. Man, I've been having weird for the past, I want to say, month now. There's been this weird thing that's been happening to me where Leah has to wake me up in the middle of the night because I don't know, I'm having struggling in my dream, like going and she'll have to reach over and wake me up. And I'll usually be having some kind of weird, strange, funky nightmare or something like that. And that happened again this morning. I think she woke me up. I'm not sure. I was having a weird, strange, funky dream, like and then I snapped awake, you know. So I'm up early this morning. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with that. I was telling her, I was like, I wonder if that indicates some kind of shadow work that I need to do. I wonder if that indicates some kind of shadow work. I don't know. No, I've never had that problem before in my life. But here for about the past month or two, it's been happening. I don't know. Anyway, y'all have some fun holidays? Or for those of you all, I don't know what all holidays get celebrated out there, but maybe for some of you all, you're still celebrating. Man, I'm not going to lie. It kind of bummed me out when it was over. It kind of bummed me out a little bit, you know? I've always liked that feeling. I'm one of those people, I think we talked about this before, but I'm one of those kind of people that around the Christmas season, I get the warm, fuzzy feeling. I like it. It feels good to me. It brings back memories of the 90s. And I'm sure, I think that's kind of normal. I'm sure that a lot of people, it takes them back to their childhood, obviously, but it does. It takes me back to the 90s, and I get that fuzzy feeling. I love it. I love seeing the decorations in the stores and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, poof, it's over. Poof, bam. You spend all this time leading up to it, putting up the decorations and the lights and, playing the music. And then it gradually comes on, the holiday season is gradually coming on. And then, you're feeling it and living it, and then it doesn't gradually shut off. Bam, it's over abruptly, and it's strange. That's weird, man. We went ahead and took all of our decorations down and our tree down and everything yesterday. It was kind of a bummer. I'm like, damn, man, it's kind of sad. I think it's a little bit sad, but oh well. Oh well, I got me a new tree for the studio here. A new tree. I'm always looking to redo my studio, so maybe I'll get some new decoration because I'm thinking now because I've been theming it for like the seasons and shit, Like for fall, I put the fall leaves and then I put the Halloween stuff up and then I switched it to Christmas stuff. Now what do? I guess I just go ahead and go with the little palm trees. So anyway, what y'all up to? What y'all up to? Anything fun? Am I gonna help y'all wake up this morning like y'all helped me? So matter of fact, and it always. Let me tell you a little story how it always happens. So when we went to the store because I was like, yo, I want to maybe look for some ideas to redo my studio with now that I'm taking the Christmas decorations down, For those of you who have watched me for a while, you know that I've always experimented playing with different things for the background of my videos, And now that I've made this room, which is actually my favorite room in the whole house, my studio, and this is dedicated to being my home studio. This is my office. This is my room, So we're at the store and we get a call We get a phone call while we're at the store shopping that Leah's grandma only has like a couple hours left to live, you know? So, it's a real emotional moment there in the middle of the store. You know what I mean? And we're kind of over there in the rug area, and I'm giving her a big old hug and everything like that. And we're all sad and stuff. And then we pull it together and we finish shopping, and we're just kind of existing, in public, just keeping our cool, trying to get out of the store. And then and then I got a subscriber standing right behind me in line at the store. You know what I mean? And then it seems like it always happens at the least expected time ever, when we're just trying to hold ourselves together. And then some lady comes up and says, "Sorry to bother you, but I watch your videos and I love your work." And now I gotta, because like I said, if you tell me who you are, then I'm friendly and I'm totally cool, and then even she said, "Man, isn't that just like the worst timing for for you to get approached out in public? Because most people don't approach me; they just stare at me." So yeah, I was like, "Damn, man, I hope I was acting friendly enough." Usually I'm pretty good at it, but it was a really bad time to get approached, and I got to put a smile on and say, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate you." But anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny and a little bit ironic because it always seems to happen that way. Always seems to happen that way. Anyway, though. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. This is actually something that I don't want to say too much because I can't really speak for her, but it's been something that the whole family's kind of been anticipating for a while. Because once her grandpa passed away, her grandma was just real depressed and didn't even want to be here anymore. She even asked me one time because she's been so looking forward to dying for so many years. She asked me to pull tarot cards one time to see if she's finally going to get to die. And that put me in the weirdest fucking position. You know, I didn't even want to do it at all. This was back when me and Leah first met. She said, "My grandma wants to know if you'll pull tarot cards to see if she's going to die this year." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" She goes, "Yes, she really wants to go be with grandpa." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking Christ, you got to be kidding me." So I pulled the cards and I said, "Nope, I don't see it anytime soon. Not this year. Nope." And sure enough, it was right. Now she lived all through that year. So it's one of those types of bittersweet things, where the whole family's like really happy for her. It's like, okay, you finally get to go to the other side you've been wanting to for so many years, and she did. So it's one of those kind of things, one of those types. It wasn't like she left too early or unexpectedly or anything like that. So you know what I'm saying? It's one of those types. But it's always sad when you lose a loved one. You know what I mean? And I didn't know her too well, but she loved me to death. Oh, she loved me to death. You know, every time she saw me, she would always tell me how glad she was that me and Leah met. Because ever since me and Leah came together, we've both been like evolving and growing and blowing people's minds. Leah's family is constantly being blown away and telling me how much she's changed and evolved since me and her got together. And so her grandma loved me to death, but it's just one of them things, kind of bittersweet. You know what I mean? So anyway, wasn't allowed to go to a funeral. Oh, well, that's one of them things, man. One of them things. It's never like something you can fully, completely prepare yourself for. You know, But like I was just telling Leah yesterday, it's really cool that she got to, because the last time she saw her grandma, like when we were in California, she said, I'm gonna make it a real strong point to go say my goodbyes because I have this feeling this is gonna be the last time I see her. You know what I mean? So she already knew anyway. So she did get to go tell her everything she wanted to tell her in case I don't get to see you again. I want you to know I love you and all that good stuff. And I said, that's really super cool that you got to do that. Because like for me, I didn't get to do that, like with my grandparents. Both of my grandparents that raised me, they were my parents too. I was raised by my grandparents. They both went to their graves ashamed of me. You know, they both went to their graves completely and utterly ashamed of me. And they had every right to be. They had every right to be. So it's been a very long healing journey since of course, my grandma died when I was 16. So I still had a long ways to go, a long ways to go. And then my grandpa died when I was right before I turned 24. So it's been a long healing journey, for me to do a lot of reflecting and forgiving myself and growing and evolving. At least I can honestly, with all of my heart, say that I know they'd be proud now. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know. My grandma, it's real hard to say because she would not be cool with what I do for a living. She would not be cool with that. So it's funky with her though. You know what I mean? It's weird with her because she was real extra super hardcore Christian religious. And I'm not bashing Christianity, but she was one of those Christians that believed that like tarot and stuff like that was evil. You know what I mean? Like tarot and Ouija boards, and I'm not a big Ouija board fan. I'm not a big fan of those things, but you understand what I'm saying. So yeah. Oh, I guarantee it, Trace. I guarantee it. Yeah. Mom died when you was 8. Damn, sorry to hear about that. Yeah, it's that happens. It's one of them things, man. The thing that gets me though, and this is always kind of a touchy, sensitive subject to talk about. Let's see, where did I see this? I think it was in one of my comment sections. I think I saw it on, and I don't even remember where it was, if it was on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, where somebody commented, and I'm not quoting it, I may be butchering it, but it was something to the effect of, ever since my dad died 30 years ago, Christmas hasn't been worth celebrating, you know? And I think it was 30, 13, something with a 3 in it. And I'm just like, okay, there is no blanket statement for when you're supposed to heal. But after a certain point, you got to start at least making the effort to try to heal, you know? You got to, I mean, look, everybody grieves differently and for different periods of time, but you got to start at least trying to heal. You know what I mean? You got to start making that effort at some point, you know? Like I remember when my grandpa died, I found him dead. It was a shock. It was totally unexpected. Totally unexpected. It was the day before his birthday, October 24th, 2011, and I came home and found him. That was the most traumatic fucking thing that I've ever experienced in my life. That I have not been the same person since that day, you know? And immediately though, the first thoughts in my mind is how am I going to heal from this? You know, I'm immediately thinking, man, I can't wait till I'm healed from this. I can't wait till I'm over this. I don't know. That's just where my mind always goes. That's where my mind always goes. I don't like being traumatized. I don't like repeating the same emotional response over and over and over. I'm always not like that. Of course, again, I'm not a long-term human. So that's one of the human games that I don't really like to play is sadness and 3D emotions. You know what I mean? When I say 3D, I'm talking about a vibrational state, you know, the vibrational state of despair and sadness and anger and all those low frequency states of being that and fear and whatnot, that most of us were born into and brought up in, you know? I don't know. Trying to find my hang on. Where the hell is my okay, hold up. I forgot to rearrange things in here, so I want to get some incense going. We'll get some incense going. Anyway, I'm just blabbing. Just blibbity blabbing. For those of you tuning in who have never attended one of these chats before, never watched one, this is just what we do. I just get on here in the mornings and blab randomly about whatever just pops up off the top of my head, and not scripted, not thought out. We just blab and then move on to the next subject. So, all right, hang on. Oh. Here we go. You got to get some good vibes in the air. All right. There we go. Oh shit! I left my candle burning all night. I just now realized that. Oh well. I was wondering what that smell was when I came in here. I totally forgot I lit a candle up there, and it's been burning. Cause I walked in here this morning, and I'm like, that's not my normal. Because I got a wax burner. I got all kinds of smells, man. You walk into this room. If you was to walk into this room, you'd get smacked in the face with all kinds of smells. I got a fucking wax burner up there. I have incense usually going, and I light a candle. So it'll be really, really woo-saw in this room, you know? So I walked in here 4 o'clock this morning. I'm like, what is that smell? That's not normally. I forgot I left a candle burning. Anywho. What y'all up to? Yeah, randomly babbling. That's what I like to do. It wakes me up, man. It wakes me up. And a lot of times, too, I just kind of like to go into the flow state. And it's not uncommon at all for me to like you all to say something or trigger me to think of something I've never thought of before. It happens a lot. Happens a lot, you know. Oh, I don't know. I might do some work on my main channel this morning too. It's coming up to the last few days of the month. I might try to cram out as much work as I can. What am I on? Libra? Let me see. No, Scorpio. Okay. Sagittarius. Okay, I got four more to wrap up January. The January readings. Might want to try to squeeze in a few all signs videos before I move on to the January bonuses. Well, cold outside. Man, we we went to this thing on Christmas Day where out at some baseball stadium, they took the whole baseball stadium and turned it into this big like maze, this big Christmas light maze. But I think I might. Did I post that on Instagram? I think I did. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, I think did I post that? Yeah, I posted a few. Yeah, okay. It just turned it into this like big Christmas light maze. These things right here, you know, there's these big reindeers and all kind of shit. And the cool thing about it was they had like a snow machine. They had a snow machine. They had snow machines all up, and it was spitting out like real snow flurries. But it like a snow, it would make it snow, and like I'm like, what is that shit? Is that like what is it that looks like snow? And then it hit my face, and it was like real snowflakes. And it was cool. They had like little snow machines that would create the because here is Vegas. It don't really snow here, you know. I think it does every once in a blue moon, but it's very, very, very uncommon for it to snow here. So I thought that was neat. I thought that was neat. Want to be in Vegas for the new year? Man, I don't know. It might be cool. I'm sure they do something interesting down there. We didn't do nothing last year. I don't even think I stayed up till midnight. That's how you know. That's how you know you're getting old and boring. We don't even fucking stay up and do anything. I don't drink. Leah has seriously cut way back on drinking. She drinks very rarely anymore. So what are you gonna do for New Year's? You know, we get tired early. We get tired early. I like to be in bed. My ideal bedtime is 9 o'clock. Me to go to bed. Like last night, I was up later than that doing videos until like 10, you know, and to me, that's a little bit late. So, been in the 70s, Enchanted Cottage. Wow. Damn, 70s. Of course, wait a minute. Where are you at again? Alabama? I've been there before. I've been in Alabama. We got stranded there one time. We got stranded. Where the fuck were we? I think Birmingham. Yeah, I think we got stranded right outside of Birmingham with a flat tire one time and had to stay an extra day. We were on our way home. I don't even remember what in the hell I was doing. I don't know. I've been to so many different places, but I do remember it being fucking hot, boy. It was summertime and fucking hey, it was hot. I remember being really surprised, like, wow, is it so hot? I couldn't even walk around outside. It fucking sucked. I've been there. I've been through there. Been through there. South Alabama. Oh, okay, so it's probably okay. There you go. It's near Florida, right? Near Florida. Yeah, probably pretty damn hot. Whew, whew, whew. Fuck all that. I remember when we went to Florida this past May, the humidity. Oh man, every time we had like you go, we would go walk around outside, not even get in the water, and then I'd have to come home and take a shower, be all sweaty and shit. I think I'm getting acclimated to the desert. I think I'm getting acclimated to the desert, and I'm starting to become one with the desert climate, which is weird because me and her we were started talking again last night about moving and what we're going to do when our lease is up. And I pulled tarot cards. I pulled cards on it, and you all know it's really hard for me to read my own shit. It's real hard for me to read my own shit. But at least the advice that I got is that it would be in our best interest to stay here for another year. Okay. Which I'm glad because I want to anyway. I don't really want to leave. I don't have the desire to leave. And it basically said it would be in our best interest financially to stay here for another year because we're doing the wedding. Because we're doing the wedding. The wedding's that's like 20 G's right there, you know. So that'd be basically like a down payment, you know. If we were to buy a house. If we were to buy a house, which now we're kind of changing our mind on wanting to do that. We kind of change. I don't know what we're going to do, man. I really don't know. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to just extend the lease another year and stay here another year. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. But if we were to move, she's really wanting to move to Utah now. I don't know. That's just the state that's calling to her. You know how I roll. I really don't give a shit. I really don't give a damn. The way I roll through life. All right, universe, you show me. You show me. Whatever doorway opens, I'm gonna step through it. That's just how I roll through life, man. That's how I roll through life. You show me what you want, universe. Like I'll try. I'll try to see, if I can make something happen. But if that door won't open, I'm not going to kick it in. I'll just either wait till it opens or wait till some other door opens. I don't try to force my way through life. I don't try to kick doors open that are locked. I don't roll like that. So if that doorway opens, and we can find us a nice, beautiful house out in Utah somewhere, then I'll go for it. I'd really rather not, though. If I had it up to me, I'd really rather just stay right here in this house and extend the lease. Okay. The fucking rent's probably going to go up, but I don't know. That's all totally still up in the air. Still totally up in the air. But anyway. Anywho. Oh, I guarantee the humidity in Georgia sucks. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. I haven't been. Let's see. When was the last time I was in Georgia? I mean, I used to fucking. We would go through there. We would go through there, regularly when I was a kid, because it's right on the way to Florida, and Florida is like the number one vacation destination spot for that side of the map. So I've been through there 100 million times. I can't even fucking count, but I'm trying to think of the last time I was there. I think it was 2016. 2016, went and stayed in Atlanta for a little bit. But yeah, I do remember it being hot and muggy and nasty. I do remember that. I remember walking around downtown Atlanta like, I remember that. And I think that may have been around the same time that I was in Alabama too. Maybe. I don't know. Anywho. Moving to West Virginia. Whew. Man. Yeah, well, I wish you luck on that journey. Sorry to hear about your son. That's always a bummer. Yeah, I've been through there too. Been through West Virginia. That was one of the most interesting states I've been through. That was one of the more interesting. Very, very different. But anyway, I want to stay here. I just want to stay here, man. I want to stay here. I like it here. I like this neighborhood is growing on me. It feels like home. I'm settled. But who knows, man? Who knows what next year is going to bring? The more I sit and stop and think about it, it kind of makes me a little bit nervous. Who knows what next year is going to bring? Obviously I'm looking to the future very brightly, but before things get real bright, how dark is it going to get? How dark is it going to get before things start moving in a more positive direction? How much more darkness are we going to have to experience? You know what I mean? Got something in my eye. Ugh. So I don't know. Either way, though, we're gonna ride the waves. It's gonna bring transformation either way. It's gonna bring, and in the long run, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Regardless of what happens, it's a good thing in the long run. I'm not looking at it negatively, but I am a little bit nervous. I don't know what 22 is gonna bring, I don't know. Oh yeah, I guarantee you, New York City. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know. That's another one of them things that it's another one of them things that you hear a lot of different stories, but the last I heard, New York City is not the place to be. Last I heard, it's definitely not the place to be right now. Don't know how true that is. I haven't been there in several years, but I've heard tell that that's not the fucking place to be. You know what I mean? So I would be boot scooting and boogieing out of there if I was you. I definitely would. Hmm. Oh, you got a new grandbaby on the way? Congratulations, Michelle. That's cool. That's cool. Yep, I just want to go ahead and stay here. I want to go ahead and stay. And here's the thing I was telling Leah too, because she's like, I'm ready for a new adventure. And I said, well, think about this. Think about this. Okay. Because me and her are very similar like that, very adventure oriented. I said, think about it like this. We leave Vegas. It might turn into not such an adventure. Because those of you who have been to Vegas, if you get bored, there's always something to do. Always. Always, 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 always. Now, the lifestyle that we live is not very action packed. Okay. Like I said, we're pretty fucking boring people. We don't do very much. But on those days that we do get stir crazy, which may be once a week, once every 2 weeks, we will get those like, well, we got to do something. All you got to do is go to Google and type in things to do in Vegas. Boom. And you can find something to fucking do. Not every city is like that. Not every city is like that, Not really. Not really. Most cities, after you experience everything, you've experienced everything and there's nothing new to do. Here in Vegas, I think this is one of the few cities, one of the few that you can live your whole life here and then probably not do everything that there is to do here. You know what I mean? Not experience everything that there is to experience. So, yeah, I don't really want to leave. I don't really want to leave. I digs it. I digs it. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It seems like my life has been a series of things happening to me that I never would have imagined. Never would have imagined living here. Never in a million years would I have imagined living in Vegas. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but long story short, this was not our plan. This was not our plan. This was just the only house that would let us in when the lockdowns happened. Okay, long story short. It's the only place that would let us in. All up and down California, we looked, all throughout Arizona. This was just the first place that would let us in, and we needed to get a bigger place. It's the only reason we even ended up here, So it's growing on me, though. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. In the woods. Hey, I'd be down with that. Let's go build a community in the woods, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go build a community. I'll help cut wood and build the houses. I'm down. I'm totally down with building a community in the forest. Bring some solar panels in there. We don't want to be too backwoodsy. There's nothing wrong with some electricity. That would not be hard to rig up. That would not be hard to rig up a little, electricity. So at least you have some lights and whatnot. I'll be down with that. I'll be down with that. You, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. A water source. Go find some spot in the forest where at least there's a river running through or something like that. I'm totally down with that. Yep. Totally down with that. Maybe that's what we'll do in the new earth. Maybe. I don't even know. I don't know. Have y'all been thinking about what you're passionate about? Been thinking about that? Been thinking about that? That's one of the things that I like to try to help people figure out. How do I know what I'm passionate about when all my life I've been trained to chase money? How do I know what I'm passionate about? You know, getting that fire, sparking and igniting that fire is what we got to start learning how to do. You know, so we got to learn how to do. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe this is what I'll just do for the foreseeable future. Reading tarot cards, maybe. I don't know. I don't know though. I could very easily see what I do taking several different paths, you know? Like I was saying that one chat, I have this really funny, strange, funky feeling that my career could easily end up turning into something fitness related. I could very easily see that. Very easily see that because I'm starting to see and understand the spiritual aspect of fitness. And it's unlike anything I've ever heard anybody explain, at least in the public eye. I'm not saying that I'm the only person that's ever thought of it this way, but as far as the spiritual community, like on the internet, I've never heard anybody publicly talking about fitness from a spiritual perspective. They may be out there. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying I've never seen it. I've never heard it, you know? And I'm starting to see the manifestation properties of how fitness works. Starting to see it. I'm starting to see it. And it's kind of a definitely a mind bending way of looking at it because I never would have thought about it that way. Never would have. Never would have. But physical health and fitness manifests just like everything else. Just like everything else, you know? It's like, whoa, that's a trip. That's a trip. Anyway, passionate about kids. There you go. There you go. Pursue it. Start pursuing it. So here's the thing. That is a frequency in and of itself, pursuing things that you're passionate about. Okay. So we have to understand that just because you're passionate about one thing doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're going to make a living doing, but giving yourself permission to pursue something you're passionate about is a frequency. Okay. It's an operating system. Okay. Because we have been trained and operated to put the fire out and chase money. That's what we've been trained and we've been trained to do basically. And when I switch that operating system and I train myself that anytime I feel that fire and you know that I'm passionate about something, I give myself permission to chase that. And once I start operating on that frequency, that is what will lead me to the career that aligns with my highest good. That's what leads me to it, you know? Happens to some people totally differently than others, you know? Some people literally do the first thing that they're passionate about, they make a career out of it. Some people do. But from what I've experienced on my own journey and the journeys that I've helped coach people through and whatnot, it's not always the first thing that you're passionate about that turns into a career. but pursuing that will put you on the path to finding that career. You know what I mean? It makes sense? Because, like, say you're passionate about animals, for example, you start pursuing something to do with animals, start pursuing it. And then on that path, you stumble upon something else. That's a breadcrumb. That's a breadcrumb. You follow that breadcrumb, you pursue that breadcrumb. Then the next thing you know, you see another breadcrumb, something that you wouldn't have expected. You pursue that. That's another breadcrumb. Anytime you pursue what lights your fire, you're on a path. Okay. Again, it's so hard to take money and stuff money at the back of the priority list. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, and it's so hard to get ourselves to do sometimes because it's always the first question. Always like when people come to me for readings, It's always the first thing that they ask me. Should I write this book? Or should I don't know, start a YouTube channel? Or should I? And I'm like, why are you asking me? Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Don't ask my permission. Don't ask my permission to do something you're passionate about. Fuck yes. Do it right now. Right now. Don't ask. Do it. But I know what they're asking me. They're asking me, if I do this, will I make money? And that's what we don't want to do. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit if you make money or not? That's not what we need to be. We don't need to have dollar bills dangling in the front of our mind. You know what I mean? And we're constantly chasing that dollar bill. No, that money will come chase you when the time is right. Until then, give yourself permission to pursue something for no good reason other than it lights your soul on fire. Write that fucking book. Yes. Yes, write that fucking book. Yes, start that YouTube channel. Do whatever it is that lights your soul on fire. And eventually, could be sooner, could be later. It all depends on who you are and what your life path is and what learning experiences the universe has in mind for you. But eventually, money will start chasing you. Eventually. It's not if, it's when. See what I'm saying? Makes sense. That makes sense. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it rolls. But yes, eventually, again, I don't know what all we're going to have to go through before we get to this point. But eventually, those of us that make it through, those of us that make it all the way through this split, this shift, are eventually going to end up doing what we love because we love it, because money will be completely and totally irrelevant. Completely and totally irrelevant. That's the world we're moving into. That's the world we're moving into. So just start thinking about that. And you know what, too? It feels good just to say you did it. Just to say you did it. I know I use the candle reference every single time, but for example, candles or sewing or something like that. Give yourself permission to go to the craft store and just look around and find something fun to do for no reason. No reason. You know that you have something in the back of your mind that you've always wanted to try. Just giving yourself permission to do it is a good fuzzy feeling. Give yourself permission to go spend the money on it. Give yourself permission to start diving into it and researching it and actually doing it. It gives you a good feeling, you know? It gives you a good feeling. We need to start practicing operating like that, you know? Yes, let money work for you. Absolutely. Once you get on that path, you know, when you start following that frequency, that's the way it starts working. That's the way it starts working. The money will work for you, you know. But again, the world that we're moving into, money will be completely irrelevant. It will be irrelevant. There will be so much abundance that it won't even matter. Won't even matter. It won't even matter. You know, we'll be doing what we love because we love it. Makes sense. Anyway. Hang on, what now? Hold up. Like attracts like. Once. No. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. Your focus puts a clamp on the quantum field of causality. Okay? The universe is constantly giving you everything that you need so that you can keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? So always think the universe behaves like water. Okay? If you put your hand in the water and you move it easily and effortlessly, there's very little to no resistance at all. Okay? If you jump off a bridge, the water becomes concrete. The more of a fight you put up against the water, the more resistance the water puts up. Okay? Now, I know you all heard me use these analogies before, but if you decide to pursue something, it's going to run from you because that's what you're asking it to do, to give you something to pursue. The universe has no choice but to respond one way. You're absolutely right. Your wish is my command. So if you decide to go search for something, it's going to hide from you. Whatever you try to avoid will pursue you. Think about that. Now, what this is this is a way to figure out how to trigger and play with the quantum field of causality. Okay? Because there's many different ways to look at once you let it go, it will come. Well, there's a scientific explanation behind that, and that's because as soon as you let it go, you gravitationally release the quantum field. That's the only time it can flow. But if you're clinging to it, you're pinching off the flow. Does that make sense? That's not a theory. That's really how it works. That is really how it works. But it also kind of depends on what it is that you're talking about. Because think about this too. If you're pursuing something, why are you pursuing it? Because you're telling the universe you don't have it. That makes sense? This is another perspective to see it from. Anything that I feel like I need, I'm not on the frequency of having it. I'm on the frequency of needing it, which is the frequency of the lack thereof. And if I'm on the frequency of needing something, I'm going to manifest more need of whatever that is. So putting yourself on the frequency of not needing something. Does that make sense? That makes sense. This is the most persistent illusion. Okay. Now it depends on if you're talking about love or money. That's why I'm kind of scattered talking about this. Okay. But talking about money, for example, which is the earth element, it requires action. This is the tricky part. Money requires action. Okay. It requires action. But you have to figure out how to develop that relationship with the universe to take action in tandem with letting go of money. If that makes sense. Walking in the frequency as if you already have it. Does that make sense? Now, if you're talking about love, it's the opposite. Okay. It doesn't require action. Matter of fact, the more action that you take, the more you get in your own way. Okay. The minute you stop looking for love, that's when you run into it. I don't know if I want to go off on the real big lectures, but if that makes any sense. Okay. As far as like attracting like, let's go ahead and put it to you like this. Okay. You have person A and person B. Okay. Both people are in relationships. Okay. They both get lied to, cheated on, and left for somebody else. Person A, hurt, destroyed, and at emotional rock bottom, says, you know what? I could never do that to somebody. I could never, ever do that to somebody. You know, person B doesn't react that way. Person B says, oh, okay, if this is how it's going to be, fuck it. I'm never going to let myself fall in love with anybody ever again. I'm just going to play games. I'm not going to be honest with nobody. I'm never going to wear my heart on my sleeve again. Fuck it. You know what? All right, fuck it. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lie and I'm going to cheat and I'm going to play games. I'm never going to put myself in that position to get hurt like this again. So person A and person B are on the same frequency. Heartache, sadness, betrayal, trust issues, loneliness. It doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. I'm not saying good frequency, bad frequency. Okay. It doesn't make you a smart person or a dumb person. We have good people and bad people who vibrate at the same frequency all the time. We have smart people and dumb people that come together on the same frequency all the time. But you see, now, if I'm on the frequency of heartache, sadness, emptiness, and loneliness, a person can only come into my life and secure a position with me if they also are on a frequency that resonates harmoniously with heartache, sadness, emptiness, and loneliness. And as soon as we link up on that frequency, what happens between the two of us is going to complement the frequency of heartache, sadness, emptiness, and loneliness. Okay? That makes sense? Have you ever met a real, true, successful couple? Like a real, genuine pair of life partners. You ever met one of those couples? I'm not talking about just a couple that's been together for a long time. Those are a dime a dozen. They're all over the place. I'm talking about those rare couples that when you see them, it's like the most beautiful, harmonious unity between two people you've ever seen in your life. They're hard to come by, but if you ever get a chance to meet one of those couples, ask them how they came together. I promise you, they will always tell you the same thing. We met by accident. It was completely random and out of the blue. I wasn't even looking for a relationship. A lot of them will even go as far as to say, I had just made the decision to stop dating and focus on myself. And that's when they showed up. My all time favorite, they're not even my type. You ever heard that one? You ever heard that one? Most perfect fucking couple on the planet. At least one of them will say they're not even my type. So what is it that's happening energetically within the hearts and minds of the people who end up in the most successful relationships on the planet that would influence them to stop looking for a relationship? They formed a relationship in here. That's what they did. Most people who do this do it by accident. Most people who do it by accident. You start to realize it's not actually love from another person. It's not actually a relationship that I was looking for. What I was looking for was a feeling. What I was looking for was a feeling. The feeling of feeling happy, whole, fulfilled, and complete. The feeling of not being lonely anymore. But there is no relationship, not even a relationship with your life partner, that will produce and create that feeling. Doesn't quite work that way. But the minute you close that void in your own heart, see, when you have a void in your heart, the only thing anybody can do when they make their way into your life is mirror that void right back to you. That's all they can really do. But when you close that void in your own heart, you start to realize, I'm not lonely. I'm not. Some people, like me, here's how I felt about it. I was like, I don't have any more room for this heart to get hurt anymore. I don't have any room for heartache. I don't have any room for it. I would much rather spend my life totally alone than even take the chance on playing that fucking game again. I'm good. That was my attitude. Everybody has a different rendition of it. Everybody has a different, that's how I felt though. I was like, man, I can't even, it's not worth it. It's not even worth it. Not even fucking worth it. I would much rather be happy, totally alone than take a chance on getting stabbed in the heart again. I just not worth it. It's not fucking worth it. It's the same fucking bullshit every single time. It's not worth it. You know? So the minute you close that void in your own heart, you start to realize that your desire to have somebody come bring that love to you drops on your priority list. So you stop looking for it out here. The minute you stop looking for it, the universe stops hiding it because you have actively disengaged from the game of hide and seek you didn't even know you were asking the universe to play. And that's when everybody notices you, isn't it? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself at least once in your life, why does it seem like when I'm interested in somebody, they're not interested in me? And the only people who are interested in me are the ones that I'm not interested in. I know you've asked yourself that question at least once. At least once. Or maybe perhaps you've said this. Whenever I'm out there looking for a relationship, it's like I can't find one to save my life. I will search all up and down God's green earth. And it's like there's nobody available out there, nobody interested in me. And then when that day finally comes that I get my hands on a relationship, now all of a sudden, everybody notices me when I'm unavailable. Think about it. What the hell do you think happens when you become unavailable to virtually fucking anybody? Now you're attractive because for some strange, weird, fucked up reason, we always tend to feel more attracted to and drawn to what's out of reach and what we can't have. And it's a sixth sense. It's an energy. Somehow it's a subconscious energy. You can pick up on what's unavailable. You can pick up on that. And it's attractive. It's intriguing. There's something intriguing about you. There's something that energetically you feel out of reach. You know, nobody really knows why. I have a couple of theories as to why, but But for some reason, we always tend to want what we can't have. And it's an energy. You can't fake it. People try to fake it all the time and it doesn't work. The universe doesn't respond to what it looks like you're doing. The universe responds to what's really happening in your heart and mind. And when that void is full, when your cup is full and overflowing, and you genuinely in your heart are like, you know what, I'm happy, I'm good, I'm not wasting any more of my time searching for a relationship. And you form that relationship with yourself. You start building your life around yourself. You start that space that you're holding, desperately waiting for somebody to come fill that space. You close it up. Don't need nobody here in my life. Don't need it. Everybody can pick up on that. You have released the quantum field from the gravitational pull of your thoughts. Now, the love offers are coming through. And it's not uncommon at all to go through a period of turning love down. Not everybody goes through that. I went through that. Most people I've met who have attracted their actual person, I can only think of a couple people that didn't go through that. Most people go through a period of turning love down. Because when you match the frequency of true love comes from you, not to you. Okay, nobody can bring you that feeling of love that you're looking for. Nobody can, not even your life partner. And once you fill that void in here and you become not so desperate for somebody to bring it to you, that it's not uncommon at all. So no, sorry, not interested. And now the more you're turning love down, remember, what you chase will run from you. What you avoid will pursue you. Now that you're turning love down and you're running from love, now it's chasing you, isn't it? Now it's chasing you. And then when you least expect it, when it's the last thing on your mind, and very frequently at an inconvenient time, that's when your person shows up. That's when your person shows up. See, your actual life partner is a B-type manifestation, a B-type. Okay. They are unlike anybody you've ever met before. Okay. There's nothing about your person you would ever be able to guess because you've never experienced anything like that before. So there's no point in trying to go look for them. Okay. You're not going to look in any of the right places. If you could find your actual life partner by going out there and looking for them, you would have found them a long time ago. The universe will bring you your life partner when the time is right and when you're on that frequency. The more you go searching for them, the more they're going to hide from you. You are not going to find them. I could tell you their name and the city they live in. And if you went looking for them, you wouldn't be able to find them. You would not be able to find them. The only time the universe can bring you your person is when you completely release it and let it go. Completely. Totally and completely. At the least expected time, it'll be the least expected person. And it's like I said, it's usually really inconvenient. Usually it's not at a very convenient time. Think about that. That's how unexpected it usually is. I'm seriously thinking, I'm pretty sure, so far that I can think of off the top of my head, 100%, every person I have ever met that ends up attracting their person, it's really inconvenient. It's not very convenient. It's like, fuck, man, do I have time for this? Damn, man. I done all month. I took on overtime at work. I don't have time. I've made my whole schedule around nobody but me. I don't have time for a relationship right now. That's what some people are saying. That's what a lot of people are saying. But when your person shows up, you will know. That's another thing. You will know. It's highly fucking unlikely that you will need to come to me and ask me if it's your person. Highly fucking unlikely. Highly unlikely. You won't be experiencing those problems and those same routine issues that you experienced with all the other people you shouldn't have been messing with. If you're unclear as to how they feel about you, might not be your person. No, if you don't know whether or not you can trust them, might not be your person. Probably not. No. If you're wondering whether or not it's this person or this person, it's neither of them. Because when your person shows up, nobody else exists on this planet. Nobody else exists. Nobody else matters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Think about it. I know that goes very against the grain of the way we were programmed to think and operate, but that's the truth. We have been very strategically and deliberately programmed to reverse manifest almost everything in our life: love, money, and good health. Okay. So it does require a lot of thinking in the opposite direction, you know? But a lot of people, here's the thing about it, a lot of people are too afraid to allow themselves to step into the frequency of true love because it involves being happy all alone. Okay. And don't, like I tell that every time I go on this lecture, I always have to throw this in there. Don't get Nine of Pentacles confused for Nine of Cups. I always have to throw that in there. Okay. Those two are depicted in the tarot. There's two different forms of independence that people confuse all the time. Okay. Every time I say that, somebody always wants to pop up and say, well, I've been happy and single for years. How come a relationship hasn't showed up? And I will always tell them the same thing. Because if you were happy and single, you wouldn't be coming to me looking for one. Think about it. Nine of Pentacles means I'm self-sufficient. I can function really good by myself. Got my own job, my own car, my own money. I don't need anybody. Nine of Cups is the energy we're looking for. Nine of Cups means I don't need any person to make me happy. I don't need a relationship to provide my happiness for me. That's the way we've been so brainwashed into thinking for so many years, is that this empty, lonely void that's in our hearts is totally fucking normal. Totally fucking normal to feel empty and incomplete. But don't you worry. There's some special person out there that's meant to show up one day and take that feeling away from you. And that's not the way it works at all. But that's the way we've been programmed to think for decades and decades and decades through music, movies, TV, and media. Have brainwashed us into thinking that that's the way that it works, and it doesn't. It's not the way it works. No, never has. That's the reason why they always say you must first love yourself. Okay, that's not just a cute little poetic philosophy that doesn't hold water. It's called frequency equalization. It's called frequency equalization. Anything that you want to materialize in your physical reality, you have to first match the frequency. Okay, anything I feel like I need, I'm not on the frequency of having it. I'm on the frequency of needing it, which is the frequency of the lack thereof. You do not, nor will you ever have anything that you need, because once you have it, you no longer need it. So if I say I need money, how do you think I need money will manifest into my life? Most certainly I'm not going to manifest money. See what I'm saying? That makes sense? I need a lover. The universe responds one way. You're absolutely right. You need a lover. Your wish is my command. Think about it. Think about it. I hope that answered your question, whoever asked that. But anyway, on that note, it is time for me to go ahead and get on out of here, y'all. Coming up on an hour. That hour flew by. I want to get a bunch of shit done on my main channel, but I'm pretty sure I have a big old handful of personal readings to do. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. I'm going to do the best that I can to finish up the January readings today. That's my goal, at least. That's what I want to do in this moment. But anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.